Or you think we're still writing with chalk?
What kind of typewriters are these in these days?
There are some things we shouldn't give up, man. That's old. That's literally old school.
The Athletic was looking back today at Derrick Henry as we discuss around the NFL the importance of running backs. And they went back to Derrick's high school recruitment from Yulee High School to Alabama, where he had 4,261 yards and 55 touchdowns in his senior year. That was his senior year, 4,261 yards. The first time he was on the national landscape was an ESPN game between two Florida schools. Kevin Taylor, Fred Taylor's son, who was known as the five-star running back prospect, who had 34 carries and 222 yards in that game, upstaged by the kid they didn't know anything about, Derrick Henry of Yulee, who had 35 carries, 362 yards, and 6 touchdowns in that ESPN game.
Those receivers were blocking a lot, weren't
Yeah,
they?
boy. I have said some stupid things in my career, a boatload of them. The dumbest thing I have ever said was, guys, Nick Saban likes smaller running backs. He'll make him a linebacker.
Yeah.
That Derrick Henry kid will play linebacker.
I think Lukenbill said that too, didn't he?
I don't know.
Oh, you know what? I think Derrick Henry could have played linebacker.
Oh, he'd have been dominant.
All right, probably could play longer as a linebacker than he's going to play as a running back. That's it for the show today. Back tomorrow, 9 a.m. Central Time. Until next time, God bless you and God bless America.
Came in from a rainy Thursday on the avenue. Thought I heard you talking softly. I turned on the lights, the TV, and the radio. Still I can't escape the ghost of you. What has happened to it all? Crazy summer say, where is the life that I recognize? Gone away. But I won't cry for yesterday. There's an ordinary world somehow I have to find. And as I try to make my way to the ordinary world, I will learn to survive. Passion or coincidence once prompted you to say, pride will tear us both apart. No, pride's gone out the window, crossed the rooftops, run away. Left me in the vacuum of my heart. What is happening to me? Crazy summer say, where is my friend when I need you most? Gone away. But I won't cry for yesterday. There's an ordinary world somehow I have to find. And as I try to make my way to the ordinary world, I will learn to survive. Papers in the roadside tell of suffering and grief. Fear today, forgot.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Oh, another Rockstar cover to start it. Ordinary World. Oh, one of my favorites right there.
He was actually trying to sing it in here.
Trying is a key word.
Some of the worst shit I've ever heard.
I am not a good singer, I admit. The closest I can come to is Whiskey Bent Hellbound by
Hank Williams Jr.
Hank Williams Jr. Both see
Yeah, I've told you, I think country music is by far the easiest to sing.
Yeah, as a guy who's played at the Floribama, I'm sure they appreciate you every time you get on their hallowed stage there.
Anytime Lance can take a shot at country music,
No,
he
it's
lines
not-
up
it's
to
not
do
a
it.
shot.
No, it's not a shot at all.
No,
Yeah.
I mean, what do you think is easier to sing, Garth Brooks or Simon Le Bon? I mean, I mean, man, all you gotta do is have a little country draw.
You don't have to. It's a little bit more to that.
Yeah, I mean, you act
I think
like
he just admitted it.
you act like any idiot could
No,
walk
I'm not saying
into,
that.
and as long as they got a country draw, they could sing.
That's not true. Because again, I can't sing either, but I can sing country music better than I can sing anything else.
There's no way you can hear that and say you're complimenting country music, but we love it, though. We love country music. I love country
I'm not
music.
saying I compliment it, but you just said it yourself.
I specifically named one song,
And it was country.
and it was country.
Yeah.
It was
But what
Hank
I
Williams
just
Jr.,
heard
who I
in
don't
Brink,
think's a great
Sing
vocalist.
Ordinary World for us real quick.
Oh, no. I don't even know the lyrics. I was just singing along with Rockstar.
Ordinary world. It's just
It's
not
an ordinary world.
extraordinary.
You know, it
could do
reminds
this
me of two things. It reminds me of the movie Layer Cake,
Correct. That's a bad scene. Fight scene in a cafe.
which was a great movie, though, underrated movie, and it got Daniel Craig ultimately the role of James Bond. It also reminds me of the documentary where some dude acted like he was, what is the British version of our FBI?
The M16, whatever it's called.
M6.
MI6.
MI6, whatever it is. But he acted like he was one of those guys, and he basically took his girlfriend hostage and another couple, and he listened to that song over and over again.
It's a weird one to do over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Good song, though.
Hey, before we get too far into this, we'll start the old show here in a second. Brandon, can you get up and correctly do all the Diet Cokes behind us real quick? We've gone blank of the Diet Cokes. No, we'll do it in the commercial break.
I don't want to.
I got to get a water, but
Lance,
I
grab
don't
a
know
water.
when you became OCD.
Well, no, I don't want it to start dominating our chat room up there in the Vulcan Tire and Automotive chat room. You'd be surprised. Give us tight shot. Every one of them has been blanked out there for some reason. Whoever loaded that thing up yesterday.
Intern had one job to do.
Intern had one job.
Oh,
Can we not teach the interns logos matter?
Oh, he will get corrected by you next time you see him. Hey, son, come in here.
Let me teach you about
Let me coach
logos.
you up.
Hey, not only that, you know, Lunsford is like very critical of our counts on whatever it is.
Yes.
The intern came to me yesterday. Are you the guy that wanted?
Are you the guy?
Yeah. Are you the guy that wanted the exact count of the shows? And him and Lunsford were like 30 off.
Wait,
He and Lunsford were 30 apart.
Yeah.
wait, the intern said that? Are you the guy that wanted the exact count?
Yeah.
Is he here yet?
Who, Lunsford?
I mean, no,
yes, I'm
not,
here.
no, not Lunsford, the intern. I mean, that sounds like he should be doing push-ups in here or something, running the stadium stairs. He's talking to one of the coaches like that?
No, I mean, I think that I don't know how it came back to me on the show yesterday. We were all talking about it. You guys said that I was wrong. Lunsford said he was right. I think that would be more of a Lunsford setting him straight.
Now, to be fair, I was closer to him than you were, but I was still like 30 off of what he has. I also think he's wrong, but
Yeah,
So we're
Can
never
anybody
going
get
to
right?
know officially.
Yeah, can we just give up knowing? I'm all right with that. Like, I never have to know what number show this is.
But we want to do a 500th anniversary, don't we?
Well, let's just do,
I just texted some friends because we'll tell you about our show here in a second. Well, I just texted a couple of our friends who were saying thank you because it's our gotcha day. And,
I hate that phrase too. Let's not use that one.
Well, I'm going to use it.
Why? Because I used it for Ladybird?
No, it's a weird phrase to me. I've never liked that phrase.
So I texted some friends like, well, this isn't actually the 2-year anniversary of our show. It's our 2-year anniversary of when we left our former employer, WJOX. So, but we've created more holidays here than Hallmark. We've got 2 years when we left radio, 2 years when we started the show, our 500th anniversary show. We're looking forward to celebrating that.
Are we off Juneteenth Monday?
I am.
He is. We're working on Monday. We'll be here, and but I'll be, I'll up for lunch. We can have a pizza party here from our great friends at Slice if you want to. We can do anything you want on Monday.
Anything we want.
Anything. Naked Mondays are back, Rockstar.
Yesterday, a record round at the U.S. Open. We start the College World Series today. Recruiting news, a lot of college football. We'll unveil some of the happenings in Nashville for SEC Media Days, which is now just 1 month away, 31 days away. So we'll do that. And we are starting off celebrating our day we left corporate radio to start this platform. Can you give me cut 6, Rockstar? Cut 6. This is from our friends at WBRC, Fox 6. Jonathan Hardison is the voice you'll hear. This was 2 years ago, right on this day 2 years ago. And I'm still amazed Hardison did not win a Southeastern Regional Emmy for this performance. A little clip from our friends at Fox 6 back on this day when it was ironically 87 degrees at 6:19. It won't be 87 as the high today, so a different weather temperature today, but still a big news date from us 2 years ago.
I'm tonight in Eugene, Oregon. Breaking tonight on 6 on Your Side, we've learned one of the highest rated sports radio shows in the country is leaving Birmingham Radio. These are the Jocks Roundtable guys leaving WJOX to start their own digital platform. Jim Dunaway, Ryan Brown, Lance Taylor, and Rockstar have been with WJOX for almost 80 years combined. The three teamed up for the last 11. Their last show, as it turns out, was Wednesday. We're told their new platform should start in the near future.
That was the scariest thing of the whole thing when he said, and their new platform should start in the near future. We were like, oh, we hope so, man. We hope so. What do we got to do? Let's find a place. Let's get equipment. Let's do
a lot of things.
It was such a weird time in our lives, that month or two. And I remember our last show, I was hoping that we were going to be able to do one of those shows, which never happens, where you can actually talk to the audience and thank them and all that kind of stuff. I was in Montana for Leighton's birthday on the last day of the show. And I was back. The first day I was back was when that broke. And I remember I was out at the pool with Jack, and the phone would not stop ringing.
It would not.
And, legally, we were kind of bound by what we could and couldn't talk about.
But apparently somebody wasn't.
Yeah, you're right about that.
Because somebody was talking because AL.com started calling and all the TV stations started calling. And we're like, how is this out? Like, none of us have said anything.
Brown and I were on the golf course,
of course,
together when it happened.
Rockstar, is that a surprise?
Yeah, we were.
Yeah, no.
I mean, it's a rarity. We play golf together.
Yeah,
and
we did yesterday.
You don't want to have something in the way of you talking.
No, it was. We were playing together, and our host. We were at Shoal Creek on number 6, and our host, when we got the call from our agent saying we're done.
Were you guys with Floyd that day?
We were Floyd Larkin.
Because he reached out to me about a week ago and said, hey, look, I know y'all's anniversary's coming up.
Oh, about that? He remembered that?
Yeah, he did. And he said, I would love to have you guys out to play around. So just let me know when.
You let me know when. I'm going.
I know you guys aren't afraid to play, right?
No, sir.
We are not. And truthfully, Brown and I have started the Gotcha Day tradition of playing golf together once a year. And we do it on this week every year.
He looks across at us, at me and Dunaway, goes, guys, I don't know what to do here. Do we need to go back to the clubhouse? And we're like, crap, no, we don't have to be at work tomorrow. Let's go.
We're literally unemployed right now.
I would say that was I told you guys I tried to take the best of the pandemic when I look back on it, time spent with the family, swimming all day, everybody coming together kind of as a society. But that was an interesting time, too, when we had those. I mean, how many months was it? 2, I guess?
Yeah, 2 off. Exactly 2 months off air.
Yeah. June 16, August 16.
It was a very, very refreshing.
Peaceful.
I needed it, honestly.
Yeah, recalibrating and all of us getting together and the excitement of, because we all had so many different ideas and we knew kind of how we wanted to direct it, but we didn't know exactly how we were going to get there.
That fast sandwich shop that's really close by, that quick deliveries, and they make your sandwiches lightning fast.
They used to be freaky.
Used to be freaky fast. I ate so much of those 2 months that I rarely eat them anymore because I got a little sick of eating them so much.
I still go by occasionally, but it was a staple. There's no doubt.
LT's neighbor, I remember Jim making a joke about LT maybe not coming back when he was on that trip, when he was in Montana, about 2 weeks before it ended. I was dropping a lot of cryptic stuff the last 2 weeks.
Yeah,
on the
you
air.
you should know that when Lance left, we knew it was a very distinct possibility.
I've got a video that I've never shown you guys, and just in case it was going to be on my last day before I went to Montana, driving into work, I was talking about it. Walking the stairs at the old Crest building, I was talking about it because I was like, it's a little sad you put that much time, and really almost a quarter of a century of my life into it. And knowing that it could possibly be the last day, I didn't want it to be, but I recorded it just in case.
Yeah, one day we will tell how much we tried to
partner.
Yeah, partner and do things.
Boy, thank
together.
God that didn't work out.
But how many times? I mean, we poured our heart and soul into that place for years and years, as many people do with their jobs, and nothing but good times over there, and happy futures to everybody. We send out some personal messages on our social media platform today, so you can go take a look at those. But just thank you guys is all we can say. And we try to tell you that all the time, just not on this day or on August the 16th, but all the time. But thank you guys from the bottom of our hearts for letting us sit here in this beautiful office that we built out with some great sponsors and sit here and do this 4 hours every day. And we hope to continue to grow moving forward. And we got some exciting things planned for the future. And hopefully they all fall into place. Not always as fast as we want, but they keep going. And we're excited and thankful. Thankful yesterday for primetime golf as well, U.S. Open. We'll get into that. Show being brought to you by our friends at MyBookie. MyBookie.ag can get you in. Can you bet golf?
You absolutely can, Jimmy D.
I brought up 2 match plays yesterday, and guess what?
Your boy Rory tore it up.
Rory actually beat Koepka by 6 or 7 strokes.
Did. That was a rare, good first round for Rory in a major.
Never in a doubt in that one. And
then the crazy one was Cantlay was behind Spieth the majority of the day. Cantlay came back and won that match. So I was 2-0 in match play.
2-0.
I'll have more match plays coming up today.
MyBookie.ag is where you can play all that. MyBookie.ag code next round. When you go to MyBookie.ag, sign up and get that sign-up bonus up to $1,000. Golf, Major League Baseball, football futures, all those things right there at MyBookie.ag. College World Series, as Jim mentioned, starting up, and you can do that there with code NEXTROUND. You get that sign-on bonus up to $1,000. They make it super easy, basically. You bet, you win, they pay. That's what it should be, right? You bet, you win, they pay at MyBookie.ag, code next round. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere, whether you're a diehard or just a casual, you can do it at MyBookie.ag, code next round. MyBookie.ag, code next round.
Ricky Fowler, Xander Schauffele both shoot 62 yesterday. They're on top of the Bud Light U.S. Open leaderboard here. We'll give you a complete rundown that matters, but just a couple of things first. Let's go Ricky Fowler first on this. Ricky Fowler, who had 5 top 10 finishes in majors between 2013 and 2014. But Brown, he didn't even qualify for this event, the U.S. Open, the last 2 years.
Yep.
Ricky Fowler had fallen on hard times, and many people wondered if he would ever play at this level of golf again. Now he's round 1 co-leader at the U.S. Open.
Ricky Fowler is one of those guys that always seems young because, and maybe it's just because I'm getting older, but Ricky was out on this tour very early and had some success as a young guy. He branded Puma and was like their main brand ambassador. He wore orange clothes. I mean, he had some fashion. And
flat bill hat. He
always looked young. And Ricky, you always think, but Ricky's gotten old. I mean,
he's 34.
That's old.
I'd say, but I thought Brownie, when I saw 34 today, because I thought it's a comeback story now. Don't call it a comeback, but it's a comeback story now. And I'm thinking to myself, I mean, God, probably late in his years. What is he, 40-something now? And it was 34. And I'm like, when is this near the end of your career at 34?
But think of how long he's been out there. It's been a long career. And you're right. He had lost his game a little bit, and he's been slowly getting it back. It would be a very, very, very popular win. He's popular among the fans. And these two guys at the top are 2 of the most accomplished golfers never to have won a major. In fact, Xander Schauffele gets that dreaded title, best to never have won a major.
Yep.
So
even better than Ricky Fowler, who at one point probably was the best.
in their current form.
Right,
yes,
yeah.
in their current form.
Yeah, and you heard Todd Furman a couple of days ago talking about everybody wants to be on Schauffele when he finally breaks through. He also talked about Ricky Fowler. This is a guy that is taking, his price went from plus 125 or 125 to 1 down to 50 to 1. So there's a lot of backers on Ricky Fowler. Is Ricky Fowler the American version of Lee Westwood?
A little bit. I mean, I would guess, Lance, without looking, Westwood was probably in the mix in more majors. Because he played really well at Augusta and some British.
Yeah,
I think he might have been in the mix more, but yeah, I think it's a pretty good comparison.
It seems like Lee Westwood was on that final TV page of the leaderboard on the finals of majors all the time and just never won them. But we also have played the U.S. Open from 1895 through 2022 before yesterday. And then two guys in the same day go out and set the record for the lowest round in U.S. Open history, and they tied Brandon Grace at 62 for the three lowest rounds now in major history. Mm-hmm. So what happened to the Los Angeles Country Club round? People were expecting it to be really, really tough. What happened? How did they go out there and go 8 under each?
So I'm about to head to LA next week. Lance lived out there, and I hear this phrase a lot, Lance, but I've never. Well, I guess I've experienced it maybe a little bit, but it's called the marine layer. When they say we had a marine layer this morning, what do they mean by that? Do you remember that?
I really don't. I mean, I've heard it.
Isn't
I think it's just
low clouds?
Low clouds and moisture, and that softened the course up. You don't get a whole lot of rain out there, obviously.
You don't,
So they aren't really worried about, the course getting soft except for what they call that marine layer. So, it softened the course up, and you give those guys the ability just to fire at pins. There's nothing. You can't add enough yardage. You can't add enough rough. You give those guys the ability to fire at pins, it's over with. And that's what happened. Apparently it just softened the course up a little bit.
Now, the USGA usually likes to adjust.
Yeah, I saw an interview, though, last night. I flipped over to the Golf Channel after the coverage ended on NBC at 10 o'clock. Weird strategy by them. Did you watch all the way till 10?
I stopped at when the big group came off at 9.
Right. And then
what are they going to do for an hour?
They showed a bunch of college kids playing, basically. I thought that was so weird. Like the late tee times were all amateurs.
Well, I brought that up yesterday when we were talking, that you had, Rory and Koepka going off semi-late.
Yeah.
But when I looked at like the last 10 groups, it was a bunch of no-names.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what they showed in prime time. For the last hour on NBC, just a bunch of guys I've never even heard of.
In
fact,
I
watched more golf than you guys.
As I was watching Rory and them putt out on 18, I thought to myself, well, there's your TV group, and it's like 8:58 or 9:02 or something like that. And I was wondering, well, is the Wonder Years about to come on? Did they put a show they want to launch right after this?
Yeah.
But I bet it got great TV ratings.
Well, I'm sure it did. I mean, there's nothing else on right now. But anyway, and I completely lost my train of thought. But no. As soon as that was over, Jim, I flipped over to the Golf Channel. And they were interviewing one of the guys that runs the event for the USGA, and they asked him that question, like, "Hey, look, they tore the course up today. Are y'all going to make it tougher?" And he goes, "You can't just adjust on the fly like that. Right. We've got a strategy. We're going to follow our strategy."
Yeah.
Wouldn't surprise me if the holes might be cut just a touch closer to the ridges than they were going to initially be, or just a touch more behind that bunker than it was initially going to be.
Yeah, it was just an amazing day.
Yeah.
And there's guys, named guys in the hunt, including Rory, who you brought up, DJ's in the hunt. So just a good day yesterday. They go off here. Well, actually, they're off now. We'll keep you updated with our Bud Light leaderboard, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Over in the chat room, NH3425 marine layer is just overcast with cool temperatures and light precipitation.
Yes, the precipitation was the big thing.
Yep. Jack said, I had to retire in my life a few years before I wanted to, and listening to the show and the roundtable helped me through that. I appreciate that, always will. We always love those stories, whether you post them in chat rooms, if you DM us or email us, any of those stories. We actually save a lot of them for when times, maybe are tough. We like to go back and just sort of remember those and stuff. So thank you, Jack. Trust us, we help you guys, help us more than we ever help you, but we're good to know that every now and then what we do, the silliness and the jocularity up here helps people too. And that's a good way to live life. trying to give back and help a few people. Our friends at Michelson Laser Vision. One more thing here in our opening segment after LT tells us about our friends at Michelson.
Yeah, 969-8100. That is the number you need to write down. If you wear contacts, you wear the eyeglasses, you're wasting money each and every year. I'm speaking from experience. I wore the contacts for about a decade, but 2 decades ago, I made that phone call to 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson performed the procedure. It only took 12 minutes for both eyes. I now have 20/15 vision, better than 20/20. Again, make the call that I made. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, best in the business, 969-8100. Ask for Amy. She's going to hook you up with a hassle-free consultation. You've got 0 to lose to find out if LASIK is right for you. Call today, or for more information, michelsonlaservision.com.
Okay, so we will be a month from now, 31 days from now, we'll be up in Nashville for SEC Media Days. We got some special programming we're going to tell you about, and a little adjustment to our daily programming we're going to tell you about as we get closer to that. We've got a 2-year anniversary launch coming up in August as well, and maybe a little twist to that, a little addition to that we're not ready to unveil yet. But some good news on maybe a bonus anniversary show on the road somewhere. So we'll tell you about that as we get closer. But on the SEC Media Days trip, we knew from our relationship and friendships with the Southeastern Conference that they were looking forward to taking Media Days to Nashville. And they started to unveil a little bit yesterday of how this SEC Media Days is going to be different than any in the past. And then when it was in Hoover, and it was sort of, the meat and potatoes. And when it went to the College Football Hall of Fame, they added a little bit extra stuff there in the Hall of Fame, a little fanfare-ish and things like that. We're going to Nashville, Tennessee, and they announced last night that on, I believe it's the Tuesday night, July 17th through the 20th, Monday through Thursday, we're up there. On the Tuesday night, we're there. They will have a stage blocking off part of Broadway at 4th and Broadway, and fans and country music fans in the area and anybody who's in town, SEC folks, media folks, will get a concert. The headline act is up-and-coming artist Midland, which was announced. They've got a couple of hits that are out on country music, and they'll be there. There'll be some undercard there, but it'll be a night of music and festivities on Broadway with a live broadcast on the SEC Network and ESPN2. So they're sort of turning this Brownie gradually into what the NFL draft was.
And that, I think, is where they got the inspiration, because it was shortly after the NFL draft that somebody at the SEC office reached out to me and said, "Did you watch the NFL draft in Nashville?" I was like, "Yeah." And they're like, "That's our plan." And I was like, "Wow, that's a bold plan right there." And I think, he understood, I understood that it was a smaller scale. I think, they don't want it to be, I don't think, as much a fan event inside, but they're fine with all that fan event ancillary going around it. You know what I'm saying? And it wouldn't shock me if this is successful, if you don't see this be a permanent move to Nashville at some point.
Aesthetically, it looked really awesome from my couch watching the NFL draft from Nashville, but that was too much humanity for me. And I don't know about you guys. I mean, Nashville's already overpopulated when you get down to Broadway.
They don't block Broadway off on Tuesday nights usually, right? It's usually
I think they block it off every night.
I think
every
it's
night
kind of where
now?
they block
Yeah,
it
okay.
off. I'm sure if weather sucks and nobody's out there, not going to. But every time recently I've been to Broadway, it has been blocked off.
Because in the older days, it was never blocked off, and then it got to where it was like a Friday, Saturday
All
thing.
the cross streets are open, but they block, at each block, they block it off.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to this, and I'd be okay if it's Nashville every year. If it turns into a street party like this, I believe one day, and maybe it's this year, and they haven't announced it yet, but I think eventually this will be a prime time event. I think we'll eventually do this at night.
Well, I could see it for this reason, is that you have a show on the SEC Network where you've got country music, and then they play a couple of songs, and then boom, Nick Saban is on the stage, or Hugh Freeze or Kirby Smart's on the stage, and they do an interview with him, and the crowd hears all that, and then we go back to more music, and it's just all the big production. I could totally see that.
Yeah.
And that's why I say I do think eventually they will give it to Austin or Dallas or something like that.
Yeah, I think Dallas will have it.
But it wouldn't surprise me if this goes really, really well if you don't see this thing in Nashville every year. Because that's about the only place you can pull something like we're talking about off.
And to go full circle, we saw how popular SEC Media Days were early in our radio career here when it was in Hoover. And I was always fearful that one day it would become a prime time event. And I was always like, here we are at the time when I first worked. And you know me, I'm a worrier by nature. I was like 10 to 2. I was like, if they move this prime time, that's going to suck for our show. And then we were 6 to 10, which at that time wasn't really great for our show with SEC Media Days anyway, because not a whole lot went on for a couple hours of the show. But I was like, God, if everything's happening in prime time, we're stuck in the radio. But now when we do this, hell, they could do it at 2 a.m. We could do our show at 2 a.m.
Doesn't matter to us.
We could do it anytime. Anytime they want to do it, we can do it.
You tell us when to be there, we'll be there.
Yeah, so looking forward to whatever they do. Full circle there. When we come back, a lot to get to today. As always, we'll do college football. We'll talk SEC and the World Series of baseball. 3 teams playing, 1 today, 2 tomorrow. And we've got a ton of college football, NFL, and a classic soundbite from a guy not known from soundbites. He's already given us a trash open this week, and he doubled down yesterday at the Nuggets parade. Forster sent it out. If you follow us at Next Round Live on Twitter, and if you do, make sure you subscribe there. Go ahead and follow us there. Subscribe everywhere. Follow us everywhere. Just search at Next Round Live on any platform, and you'll find us there. Make sure you're following us, like us, thumbs up, and everything. But a little Joking with the Joker when we come back on TNR, being brought to you today in part by our friends at New York Butcher Shop. A chance to get the weekend started off right with that perfect cut of meat.
Rare quality, well-done service. That is the motto from New York Butcher Shop. Just a fantastic place to pick up steaks for the weekend. Brown loves those pork chops. They've got great sides. Don't forget about those huge deli sandwiches. And Father's Day in 2 days. A lot of guys out there like to procrastinate. Maybe some of the moms out there procrastinating. Go to the New York Butcher Shop. 2 locations. One, the original in Cava Heights. There's also one out in Greystone on Highway 119. Pick up a gift card. Nice bottle of wine. Dad is going to absolutely love it. Again, the New York Butcher Shop, the best quality out there.
Follow The Next Round on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Next Round Live.
If you're looking for a fun golf atmosphere that is laid back with a peaceful environment, the Meadows Golf Course in Harpersville, right off of Highway 280, is perfect for you. Just a short drive from Birmingham, this 18-hole, 200-acre track with rolling fairways and ample greens is the definition of peacefulness of the country just miles from the city. Enjoy a great lunch before your round and a cocktail on the wraparound porch after 18. Come see us today. The Meadows Golf Course in Harpersville, right off of Highway 280. Hey, Lance Taylor from The Next Round. You've heard me for years talk about our friends at Bromberg's Jewelers, and we welcome you to stop by and see that great customer service at the Mountain Brook and Summit locations, but we'd also love for you to check out their new online shop. They've got plenty to choose from. Great gifts, big and small. Available online, they've got David Yurman, Tudor watches, select diamond and gemstone jewelry, William Henry, seasonal and favorite giftware items and baby gifts as well. They've even got an online sale section. For more information, Brombergs.com.
Hi, this is Wes McClooney, owner of the New Balance Birmingham store. Conquer whatever summertime activities you want to take part in, all while wearing the perfect shoes. Our fit specialists take precise measurements of your feet and analyze how you walk and run so that your shoes fit perfectly. And we haven't forgotten about the kids either. We'll get them equipped for summer camp or whatever adventures they take on. Stop by the New Balance Birmingham store today, located on Highway 280 next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham. Experience the difference a custom fit makes today.
It's the spring sales event at Alfa Romeo of Birmingham. Now you can get $10,000 off, plus rates as low as 4.7% on new 2022 Alfa Romeo Stelvios and new 2022 Alfa Romeo Giulias. Come see the team at Alfa Romeo of Birmingham, exit 27 just off I-459 on Grants Mill Road, or visit them online at alfaromeousaofbirmingham.com. Hurry down before they're all gone. All incentives applied, in stock units only with approved credit. alfaromeousaofbirmingham.com.
This is for the men who never settle, the ones who miss the fairway all day and still pull out the big stick, the type of guys who will always prefer to be behind the grill than in front of the camera, and the men who never let their friends forget about a high school nickname. This is the Lodge mentality. This is Twin Peaks.
Who wants to settle for a single TV? With more TVs, bigger screens, plus our fabulous scenic views, there's more to watch at Twin Peaks.
Hey, Ryan Brown here from The Next Round. Do you want to help pay for my kids' college and look great while you're doing it? You need to go to The Next Round store. Everything from hats to short sleeve and long sleeve t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, zip-up hoodies, and much more. And we're adding new things all the time. Why would you not want to see my kids get a great college education and look great out in the public while you're doing it? Get the gear we wear all the time on the show, and there's only one place to get it. NextRound.store. That's NextRound.store.
Back with you on the next round. The show being brought to you in part today by our friends at Hemp Hill Services. If things aren't running right, flowing right, draining right, you call the friends at Hemp Hill. That's something Birmingham's been doing for half a century now, and they will take care of you as they always do for your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs. Trust the name Birmingham's trusted. Hemp Hill Services, 205-229-2090, 229-2090. Just a great way to get that air conditioning checked out before, I promise you, eventually we're going to be steady in the 90s and into the early 100s, the low 100s, before it's trending to not do that until football season. Because we're at mid-June, June 16th today. And can you think of one hot day we've had?
It's been fantastic. What was your
other than 5 minutes on the driving range yesterday? Other than 5 minutes.
Well, you started complaining quick.
It went from cool to hot, and then it covered up nicely. But for 5 minutes, I was like, my God, I can't breathe.
So when May started out mild, was it your prediction like we're going to have a brutal summer?
No. Late is going to. I said it was going to be late. Remember?
Late brutal summer. So like September is going to be awful.
September is going to. I mean, we're gonna have kick temperatures. I mean, go ahead and buy those little round, thermometers that you guys have on sidelines for ESPN. All of my friends who do sidelines on ESPN, go ahead and get one of those circular things so you can set it on the field and get that camera shot of it being 104 on the field, because we're going to have those the first 2 or 3 weeks of the season.
And this may be, I don't know if this is worthy of a Bud Light poll question, but what is the bigger cliche? The big thermometer on the sideline showing how hot it is on the field, or the noise meter comparing the crowd to a jet engine or a rock concert?
I believe
depends on the time of year.
I believe the thermometer. I never believe bullshit that this
I never do
as loud as a 747 in here.
Yeah, the first time I remember seeing that was when the Twins played the Braves in the '91 World Series.
I think you're right. I think I remember